Hey everybody, welcome to Sammy's Yoga Snacks. I'm so glad that you've joined me all today to share this practice. We're going to be doing some standing, some sitting and some lying poses. I've got some props handy, so grab any of your props that you may need. I've got some blocks today. I'm also going to be using a flat cushion for kneeling as well, because we are going to be doing some kneeling poses. Grab anything that you may need to make your practice a bit more comfortable. We don't want to be feeling pain or discomfort during our practice. At any time, if you're feeling any of those, just slowly bring yourself out of the pose. I will be guiding you with some breath work, but if that doesn't land with you today, totally fine. Just breathe your natural, comfortable breath. So we're going to start getting a little bit mobile, and we're going to do this standing up today. So I'm going to get off my lovely bolster, pop that out of the way. Here to nourish our body with a bit of movement. Come on up. Beautiful. So standing nice and comfortably, we'll start with the top, just gently tucking the chin and rolling the head forward and just checking into our bodies and seeing how they're feeling today. And then when you're ready, we're going to lift the chin up, thinking about drawing the nose up to the ceiling or the sky if you're outside today. It's a bit gloomy here in Melbourne, so I'm doing this one indoors. And then bring your head straight ahead. So we're going to move up and down. I'll guide you with the breath, but again, just use your comfortable natural breath if you want to. So we're going to exhale as we drop the head forward. And then inhale as we lift up. And we'll do a couple more of these at your own time. Just noticing if you're holding any tightness anywhere. Making these little observations as we move through our mobility. And then bring the head forward. We're going to turn the head to the side. And then do the same on the other side. So like I've said in the past, there's no real set rules for mobility. We're just moving the joints. So if you want to circle the head instead, that's all right. Beautiful. And then bring the head forward. Let's get some shoulder movement. You might like to shrug it up to your ears and set the shoulder blades back and down. You can make these circles as big or as little as you like. Feeling a little bit stiff in the lower body, so I've got to relax a little bit more here. And let's reverse it. Beautiful. Let's get the elbows going and change direction. Wiggling, I'm making circles with my wrist at the same time. Wiggle the fingers. Beautiful. Let's lengthen the side of the body. Stretch out that rib cage. Tip forward. Oh dear. And we're going to sweep across, opening the back a little bit more. You can make these movements as elaborate as you like. And then from here, some gentle sways. Softly looking over the shoulder. And then let's get a bit of movement for the lower back. So you can get a little bit fancy with these and make some figure eights if that feels good. Changing direction every now and then. And again, make these as big or as small rotations as you feel that you need, that your body needs today, and kick up the heels behind us. Maybe some side leg movements to warm up the outside of the legs, across the body. Beautiful. And let's tap the toes. And a few heel raises as well to warm up those ankles, shins and calves. Beautiful, lovely. So let's just take a moment to allow ourselves to feel grounded. Our big and little toes, we'll plant them into the floor or the mat, the heels. Feel the sensations of our strong legs holding us up. And just check into our breath. Connect with that steady inhale and exhale. You may like just soften the gaze or shut the eyes, whatever you feel comfortable doing. You may even like to put your hand on your heart and your belly and feel that breath. Just noticing the length of our breath. Where we're holding our breath, are we mainly holding it in our chest? Or can we feel it way down deep into our rib cage, into our bellies? Just noticing without any judgment. Noticing how our spine feels, our hips, our shoulders. And can we try and even out the breath on the inhale and exhale? Get a little deeper with our breath. And then when you're ready, coming into a strong mountain pose Tadasana. So we're going to take a nice big shrug of the shoulders and back and down. Big breath in, lift the arms above the head, exhale, let them go. Couple more of these. Reaching up, finding length in the ribs down the side of the body. Last one. And on the exhale, coming back down into that mountain pose. So palms forward. This will help activate those arms a little bit. We'll do a little bit of a half vinyasa. Actually, we'll start from the back of our mat for this one. Actually, we'll start at the top of the mat. Oh, sorry about that. So we're starting in mountain pose. So feeling nice and grounded, taking an inhale into our chair pose, our Utkatasana. So we want to lengthen through the spine and feel weight in the heels. Take an extra breath here, see how it lands. And then we're going to fold at this crease at the hips into our forward fold. So just come forward as much or fold forward as much as you feel comfortable. It's really nice option too to rest the elbows on the top of the knees as a forward fold. We can think of lengthening through the back of that neck. On your next inhale, we're going to come up for a halfway lift. So really long arms and long spine for this one. And then on the exhale, we're going to come into our warrior one, Virabhadrasana one. So we'll stand up, pick up the right foot, take it out behind us. Okie doke. So take up space in the mat. We want to feel nice and stable in this pose. So we're going to have the knee over the ankle, spreading those toes. My back heel's down. I've got it on a little bit of an angle. But if this doesn't feel good for you, you can lift that heel up as well. Our hips, talk about being unsteady. Our hips are going to face forward. We're going to take a beautiful inhale up and then exhale, relax the shoulders, but keep that body nice and straight and strong. Stretch the arms up. One more breath. And then on the exhale, keeping our legs where they are, we're going to bring the arms down. We can grab our right wrist with our left hand and we'll come into humble warrior. So from here, we'll inhale to find length in our torso and then exhale, start to fold at those hips in the left and come forward. Almost like you're resting the outside of the left rib cage on the inside of the right leg. We want to relax the arms. Now you can bring the arms away from the body or you can just let them relax. On the next inhale, we'll start to lift our gaze, release the arms, come all the way back up. Oh, my left leg's feeling this now. And if you like, you can even come for a little bit of a mini back bend. So we'll think about bringing the chest upwards, keeping length in that spine. And then when you're ready, we'll exhale, bring the arms down, pick up the back foot, come to the top, give our legs a little shimmy shake. And then we'll do a little half vinyasa and do the other side. So inhale into chair. Relax the shoulders, lengthen those arms. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. And then on the exhale, stand all the way up. Do exactly the same on the other side. This is my right foot in front. So take your time getting nice and stable in the legs. So it's okay to take up space. I find I feel more stable when my feet are as wide as the mat, but everybody's pelvis is different, so have a little play. We want to spread the toes, nice and straight and strong with that spine. We're going to inhale, come up. Exhale, relax the shoulders, but keep that length in the body. Let's take a few breaths here. Focus on our breath, smooth and steady. Then when you're ready, on your next exhale, we'll float the arms down, grab our left wrist with our right hand and come into a humble warrior on the right. So we'll rest the right side of our ribs on the right side of our inner thighs or top of our leg. Let our head relax and either have the hands on the back, resting, or you can pick them up. So have a little play, see what feels good for you. That's the beauty of these poses. You can see what you can do with your body as long as you're not in any pain. On your next inhale, we're going to lift the gaze, release the arms, come on up. And if you want to add a little back bend, think about reaching the chest to the sky or the ceiling. And then exhale, float the arms down, pick up the back foot. Come into a chair pose. So sitting on those heels, little tuck of the chin. Exhale, forward fold. Take an extra breath here. You can even get a bit bendy with the knees and get a hip swing happening. Let that head relax. Take your feet out a bit wider. Inhale, half lift. Actually, a really nice option with this is to sweep the arms back. One of my mentors does this in her classes and I love it. Sarah, I love this. So yeah, it's a nice way to open up the chest. And then exhale, forward fold. And then inhale back into chair. Let's take some cactus arms here. And then exhale back into mountain. Beautiful. All right. Give our legs a little shake. I might grab a drink. Lovely. So we're going to move on to some standing poses. So standing in the middle of your mat, take a nice wide comfortable stride. We'll start with warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. We're going to turn the right foot out to the side. We want our hips facing the long edge of the mat. So have a little play with foot positioning. I find personally I like to turn my right toes, or the toes that are pointing towards the top of the mat, I like to turn them in just a little bit just to accommodate my hips. We're going to take a bend in the right knee, spread our toes and feel nice even pressure through the feet. Our body's upright. From here, we'll take a nice sweep of the arms and then relax the shoulders, but keep those arms straight and strong. So we've got length through the torso and the back of the leg and strengthen both of those legs. Just noticing that breath moving up and down in our bodies, or inhaling, exhaling, the expansion of the rib cage, the contraction or shrinking of the rib cage. If you like, you can even bring both palms up and down and see how that feels for the shoulders. See if you notice anything in the shoulders changing when you turn both palms up and down. From here, let's reverse our warrior. We're going to turn the right palm up. Inhale, start to lean away or open away from that bent knee. So we're still going to keep this right knee bent, but we're opening up this right rib cage. And you can put your glance wherever it feels comfortable. So you can look up or straight ahead. There's a few options there. And then from here, we're going to come into side angle. I'm going to quickly pause it. and grab my block. Beautiful. Okay, so from here, inhale to find length through the ribs, and then exhale, we'll start to spiral over. Now, there's a couple of options. I might put my hand down first for this one, is we can land our hand on our knee or our forearm. We can catch a brick, or we can come all the way down to the floor. Just listen to your body and how it's feeling today. We want to keep that chest nice and open and find this lengthening through the side of our bodies. With this arm, we can pop it on our hips, or we can pop it up in the air, and I'll show you another option with it as well. So I'm going to catch my brick today. So from here, I'm going to sweep my arm from the back to the front and see how that feels for my shoulders. Feels quite nice, actually. And on the last one, I'm going to hold it above my head. But have a go. If this doesn't feel great, just put your arm down. And on our next exhale, we're going to look towards our right big toes. Big push off, spiral over, relax the arms. I'm going to pop my brick here for our wide-legged forward fold. So turn our toes, our right toes in. So the edges of our feet are facing the edges of the short edge of the mat. So pressure on the outside as well as the inside of the foot. We're going to fold at this hip crease. So you'll notice a little divot here where your hips and your legs start and finish. We can soften the knees. Inhale to draw the elbows back. And then exhale. We're going to come halfway down or to a depth that feels good for you. And let's stop here for a few breaths. Just noticing where we're feeling this lengthening and strengthening. Now you can stay here if you like, or if you want to go a little bit further, you can let your upper body relax. It's up to you. I might see how this feels, and if I'm not happy, I'll come back up again. Now, if you'd like to add a little bit of rotation to this, I might get rid of this for a moment. We can leave the left hand on the ground, turn to the right and sweep that arm up. And come on down and do the other side. A nice option for that arm in the air is popping your hand on your hip and doing the same thing. Beautiful. Once we're here, back to the start, we're going to lift our gaze. So our gaze can really help guide us with our movements. Strong push off the legs, come all the way back up. And ready to do our warrior two on the other side. So we'll turn our other foot out. Take a bend in that knee. Make any adjustments. So my knees are over my ankles, toes are spread. I've got my back heel and front heel roughly in alignment, but I might change it up a little bit. That's better. Beautiful. So from here, we're going to sweep the arms out to the side. Take some steady breaths. Have a play with that, rotating the palms up and down. See if it feels any different on this side. Feel that nice lengthening of the spine. Strengthening of the legs. And then when you're ready, we can flip the palm up on the front hand, start to turn away into our reverse warrior. And then when you're ready, we're going to start to come into our side angle, Utthita Parshvakonasana. So coming down to a level that feels good for you. So we've either got that hand on the knee or forearm, hand on a block or on the floor. And that arm in the air can stay there or pop on your hip. Or you may like to follow me sweeping it from the back leg to the front, just getting some nice shoulder movement. And I'm going to stop it there. Oh, my legs are feeling it today. And then when you're ready, on your next exhale, we'll have a look at our big toe on the front foot. Start to spiral up. Let's do another forward fold. Stretch those legs out. So turning the toes in so they point to the long edge of the mat. Hands on the hips. Roll the shoulders back and down if that feels good. Unlock those knees. Inhale to lengthen and draw the elbows back just a tiny bit. And let's forward fold. And I'm going to hover here for a little bit. Or you can go all the way down if that feels good for you. Feel that nice lengthening through the back of the leg. Oh, my core's working a bit harder today, I think. And then inhale, come all the way up. When you're ready, take your time. Turn towards the top edge of your mat. Come on up. Whew. Give the legs a little shake there. I'll grab this brick. I'll need that for later. Beautiful. All right, so we're going to do some poses on the floor now. So let's take a little half vinyasa to get there. We're going to inhale into our chair and exhale into our forward fold. Inhale into our half lift. Nice steady breaths. Exhale. Pop the hands on the ground. Get really bendy with those knees and let's walk the feet out into our tabletop. Beautiful. Oh, a bit thirsty today. So we're going to come into some kneeling poses. If you're on a hard floor or your knees are a bit, they don't like kneeling, you can use something underneath your knees to give you some cushioning. I've just got an old chair pad here. I'm going to be using that. So these poses, the one we're going to be coming into Anjani Asana, we're going to be opening up the hip on one side and finding some lengthening through the front of that thigh. So let's grab our right leg, pick it up from behind, pop it in the front. So it's our hands are framing the front foot. We're going to have that ankle underneath the knee like we did in our Warrior One. And this leg here, we're actually going to keep it underneath our hips. Now, the true variation, I think, is you take that knee back behind and really sink forward and down into the hips. But this one here, I'm actually going to remain quite upright so I can help find a little bit more length in the front of that thigh. Bricks are great for this as well. For if you just want a little bit more stability and find height in this pose so you're not leaning forward. So I'm going to use my bricks today. So I've got my left knee underneath my left hip, my right ankle underneath my right knee. My toenails are facing the mat. I'll come on up. Oh, actually, I didn't realize that's better. Okay, so from here, I'm pushing through that front foot. I'm almost pushing the left hip a little bit forward. Make some little adjustments here. Wiggle the toes forward. Feeling pretty stable here. Nice. So yeah, so just a little push of that left hip forward, nothing too violent, just enough that you may feel like some lengthening and thinking long spine, like the crown of your head's pulling towards the ceiling. So from here, we're going to inhale, pick up the left arm, and then exhale, just bending slightly to the right. So that's why I've got my brick here, just to help me balance a little bit more. So this will help open up that left hip just a tiny bit more. I'm really reaching up as high as I can with my hands or my armpit up to the ceiling. Trying not to lean too much to the right with my hips, but using my upper rib cage to do the bend and the waist. And then from here, come on up, and then we're just going to turn to the right. Put my hand on my hip, it seems a nice option. It's all about experimenting, seeing what feels good. If you want to get the core involved a little bit more with this, you could pop your fingertips behind your ears or your hand at your heart and use the core to make your twist rather than sort of gently pulling yourself around. And then when you're ready, we'll come to the front and let's do a little hammy stretch here. So again, these bricks are going to help stabilize me a little bit more. I'll shoot my hips back, maybe do a little bit of bring the heel forward as well. So how far you come forward is entirely up to you. We want to start with a nice straight spine. And then when we found our edge or that point where, okay, that's enough for today, we can relax a little more into the spine. So you can use blocks or you can put your hands on the floor as well. Just taking a moment to steady our breath. If we notice that we're sort of leaning a little too much on the left-hand side of our hips, maybe bring them back in alignment. And notice if we're feeling where we're feeling this lengthening. If there's discomfort in the knee, take a bit more of a bend in the knee as well. And then when you're ready, we're going to bring that right knee underneath or over the top of our ankle. Take a big inhale up and exhale, frame that front foot, pop that foot behind us and do the same on the other side. All right. So we've got the left knee underneath over the left ankle, or my anatomy is not great today. Coming up and our right knee underneath the right hip. Do a little bit of adjusting here. All right, so from here, I'm thinking tall through my body. I'm already starting to feel that stretch and I'm not even putting that hip forward. So just thinking lengthening through the body, but relaxing the shoulders. Focusing on that breath connection to the body, smooth and steady. And then if you want to add a little bit more of a lengthening, just gently pushing that right hip forward, just a tiny bit at a time. And then if you want to, we can do a bit of a side bend. So I'm going to move my block out the side just a little bit. Inhale up, exhale over. So I still want to keep that right hip over the right knee. I'm just bending at the waist, at the armpit. And then when you're ready, float that arm down and looking over to the left. And again, we've got those options with the core where we can pop our hands on our heart or behind our fingertips and use our core a little bit more. One more breath. Whew. Didn't need my knee pad today. It's quite spongy in here in the carpet. So from here, we'll get a little bit of a hammy stretch. So you can wiggle the heel forward, use your blocks if you want to, or if you've got books, you can use books instead. Find my edge with my hip and then let it go a little bit more. And soften my left knee a bit too here. Take a couple more breaths here. And then when you're ready, on your next inhale, lift your gaze. Bring that left foot underneath the left knee. We'll do one more big stretch. And then let's go. Exhale, float the hands down, bring that foot away. And we're going to come all the way down onto the ground here. All right. So we can be in tabletop and slowly come down. Beautiful. Okay, so from here we're going to come into locust pose. So this is a really nice back strengthening, or the whole back of the body actually. So we're going to do it in bits and pieces. We'll start with the feet, and then you just pick a point where you want to do your locust pose. So if you just want to do the bottom half today, perfectly okay. If you want to do the top half, that's okay. If you want to do everything, that's totally okay as well. So from here, I'm going to have my hands near my armpits. I'll start with my feet. My eyes are just looking down to the mat, but my upper body's relaxed on the floor. I'm going to pull my toes away from me and lift the bottom part of my body, my legs, off the ground. Doesn't have to come off very far. So my pelvis is pushing into the floor. My belly button's lifting off the ground. I'm pulling my toes away from me, behind me. Oh, I'm feeling that in the back of the legs. And then let's relax. So let's do the top half. So from here, we still want to ground the front of our hips to the mat. We're going to draw the shoulders up and down the spine, so up towards the ears, and then roll them down the spine. Think about drawing those shoulder blades together and down your back, lifting the upper body to a point that you feel comfortable. And my eyes is looking still forward and down. I've got this nice lengthening through the back of my neck, as well as the front of my neck. And I'm feeling this in my bottom as well, because I want to support my lower back. So my bottom's sort of firing as well. And then I'm going to relax. Now, we can put all these together. So if you wanted to do the bottom half, the bottom from the legs, that's perfectly okay. It's a good way to strengthen the back of our legs. If you want to do the upper body, that's totally fine as well. And then, yeah, you can do the whole thing. So with an inhale to prepare, drawing the elbows in. Remember, listen to your body and honor how it's showing up today. We're going to inhale and lift whatever you want to do. Just take some smooth, steady breaths here. There's a lot going on. Whew. Really thinking about firing all those muscles in our back, keeping our glutes active, our legs. Taking a couple of breaths here. One more. Ooh. And then relax. Okay, so from here we're going to roll onto our backs. And we're going to do a variation on lying staff pose. So this one's Yukiko Asana. So with lying staff, you'd be having your legs up in the air and you hold them up there the whole time. We're going to be coming down and up, so getting a little bit of core work done with this as well. So from here, we'll lift our feet off the floor, bring our knees to our chest, make sure our eyes are looking straight up. We've got this nice sort of neutral neck. So we've got the back of our head, the back of our body, way down to our bottom, flat on the mat. Just relax the arms down by your side. We'll push our feet up to the floor, up to the ceiling. So we're pulling the toes down, pushing the heels up. And then on the next inhale, we're going to bring the knees to the chest. Exhale, straighten the legs. Inhale, bend the knees to the chest. Exhale, straighten the legs. And just doing this a couple more times. Definitely feeling this today. One more. Nice. And then from here, slowly bring the knees, or bend the knees, bring the feet down. And while we've got our feet off the floor, you may like to have a little bit of a massage. Or you can pop your feet on the floor and do some massaging as well. You don't have to have the feet off the floor for massaging. Make some circles if that feels good for you. You know, to be kind to our bodies. Give it what it needs. And then when you're ready, Slowly bring those feet down onto the ground. So with our side twist today, we're actually going to start lying on our sides, and you'll need a pillow or a cushion for this one. So I might grab this one. So we need a bit of a head support for this one. So lying on your side, we're going to make a little bit of a lightning bolt shape with our lower body. So bending your knees, having your feet, hips and head roughly in alignment, taking the arm out to the side. We're going to put the other palm on top. So on your next inhale, we're going to lift up that hand. When we reach the top, we'll follow the hand with the eyes, exhale, and bring that hand over the other side. Now, if you're finding it's uncomfortable having the hand hovering in midair, you can have a cushion to catch as well. So put a cushion underneath your hand, or you can also bend and put your hand on your hip as well. So you've got some support there. So we're just going to take some time, look over a shoulder, keep those knees glued together, taking some smooth, steady breaths. One more breath. And then on your next inhale, we're going to lift up that hand. When we reach the top, exhale, connect palm to palm. And then slowly turning over to the other side. Okay. All right, so we're lying on our side. Our knees are stuck together, like glued together. Our hands out the side, other hands on top. Our head's feeling nice and supported. We're going to inhale to lift the hand up off the other one. And when we reach the top, we're going to exhale, open to the other side. And I actually like that idea of catching my hand on something. Feeling a bit tight in the chest here today. I want to try and see when we open up that if we can keep that hand that we've taken over this side below the shoulder joint too, just to protect the shoulder. And on the next inhale, we'll lift that palm up. And when we reach the top, exhale, connect palm to palm. Beautiful. When you're ready, we're going to come into our Savasana. So I invite you to get nice and comfortable. Take a position that feels good for you. I rather like this cushion, so I might just stay here, I think. Yeah, so from here, I might do lying butterfly. Seems like a nice option today. So popping your arms or hands in a position that feels good for you. Let's take some falling out breaths just to allow the body to relax and let go. So taking a nice big deep inhale through your nose if it's feeling clear. And then letting that breath go. And one more of these. And release. And then falling into your comfortable everyday breath. Making any micro adjustments. We want to feel comfortable when we're in Savasana. Allow our bodies to surrender and let go. Allowing the head to relax, the neck, the shoulders. Allow the arms to go heavy, the chest, down to the softness of our belly. Embrace that softness. Feel the warmth of our heart space. Allow the back to relax, the sides of our torso. Allow the hips to go heavy, our legs, all the way down to our ankles and feet. Allow the arms to soften and way down to the fingertips. Whole body relaxed and rested. And then when you're ready, just gently begin to bring some movement back to your body. You like to stretch or wiggle your fingers and toes. Take up space. Maybe some windshield wipers, whatever your body needs. And then when you're ready, coming over to your side, maybe a few breaths here before we come up to a nice comfortable position to close our practice. If you'd like to join me by bringing your hands to your heart space with a gentle bow, as we thank our beautiful and amazing bodies for moving and for being still today, for our breaths for nourishing us, and for our minds for guiding and supporting us. Thank you, everybody, for joining me for today's practice, and the light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through your practice. If you like what you see and are having some fun, I would love for you to subscribe or tick the like. I'm also on Instagram and Facebook. So till next time, have a beautiful afternoon and take care.